Hi everybody, I'm Carol with Free Spirit Arts and welcome to my channel. Today is Sunday and I just yesterday posted last week's Self-Care Sunday. So now I've got two of them back to back. Self-Care Sunday is sponsored by Tammy Van Antwerp. She has a channel and she does Self-Care Sunday 2023. She gives us a prompt every week and I'm loving it. It's fun. It's a new break. I've done Tea Tuesday. I've done Collage Weekly. I've done, all the things that float around YouTube. And this is just one more fun one. Let's light a candle. Love this thing. If you have a crafter in your world, give them one of these. Or anybody that lights stuff. Somebody who has an RV, yeah. Okay. Let's just take the shift from out there to in here. Lots to talk about today. Okay, take a breath. Okay. I like to light a candle when I'm coming into my creative space to just help me build that bridge to let everything else go. Today has been a profoundly spiritual day for me by design and also incidentally. As I had mentioned in previous videos, here where I live, one of the funeral homes here in town was caught up in a controversy this past last spring, summer, and well into fall. And the owner of the funeral home is now in prison. And all last summer, most of last summer anyway, I tried to get permission from whoever I could to go down there and take community spiritual leaders and whoever wanted to come and bless that space. And my concern is that he abused his responsibility. He was, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Can't think of the word, but entrusted. That's what I'm trying to think of. He was entrusted with those bodies and those souls. And what they found in the mortuary was horrific. So when I heard about it, I thought, who is going to care for all those tortured souls? Well, okay, so the building we're going to take care of, they planned on leveling it. It was very controversial who was going to buy it and whatnot, but all summer I've been working on trying to figure out how to get down there. Well, on the news last week, I think it was, they announced that the school district, there's a high school there. This is all in the old part of town, and this high school is quite old. And the high school bought the building and ground and everything, and they're going to tear it down. I think starting tomorrow, because they said spring break, and that's starting tomorrow. So I knew this morning, I have to get down there. So my husband and I went down there, and I wasn't able to rally the people that I wanted to come, but that's okay. We went down there, and I smudged the exterior of the building And on the back side, it's really a big building. The back side of the building, there's several garage doors that open, and one of them was open. I don't know, 5 feet. Well, no, it wasn't as tall as me, so 3 feet. Anyway, I tried to smudge underneath of it. Of course, I don't want to trespass or anything, so I tried to, be mindful of not breaking any laws. But I smudged all of that, and I blessed the ground and the building and did my best to invite those souls that are left to be on their way and continue their journey and not stay there. And we left some flowers on the front porch, actually on this little water feature thing that they used to have. And I left my sage and things. And then, curiously, as we were leaving the building, the signage is all broken, and the building is completely overgrown with weeds. And we've had so much snow. There's snow piled up all over the sidewalks. It doesn't look like anybody's been around the building for a long time. And the police had told me that nobody could go down there because it was still a crime scene. But anyway, as we were leaving, I snapped a couple pictures, and because it's been there for a long time. It's a historical building, and it's a gorgeous building. But I was kind of leaning out the car and taking a couple pictures, and I happened to look up, and in the very top window, there was this guy. And he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and it almost looked like maybe he was wiping the windowsill out or doing something with his hands. I don't know, but he kind of was moving around in the window and whatnot. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know. My husband didn't see him, but he was definitely there. So maybe he got blessed too. That's just great. And so I feel really good about that. And when you do things like that, boy, you have to really you need to get your head in the right space, I smudged myself and all of that before I started. And I smudged myself after I went around the building. And I feel really good. I feel like I did what I could do, as minuscule as it was. Okay, so that was the follow-up to that. I had some people ask me to let them know, and so that's the follow-up to that. So that chapter for me is done. Excuse me. Oh. Tammy. Oh, no, wait, I wanted one more thing. I've had this book forever. I love this book. One of the reasons that I love this book is because it's a great gift. If you're looking for a book to give somebody who's on a spiritual journey and they are smudging or they use essential oils or any of that, and what, baby? Oh, I've got to let Jaja out. She thinks there's something out there that she needs to be involved with, and we don't let Jaja worry. Whatever she wants, we call her Princess. And she doesn't know any different. She thinks that she owns us. Okay, so yeah, it's Jane Alexander, The Smudging and Blessing Book, Inspirational Rituals to Cleanse and Heal. I've used this a lot, and I've given it to friends and family as a gift, and it's just great. And you don't have to have a book to bless anything or to say a prayer or to have a ritual, but like that page right there, it tells you choosing your essential oils, and it talks about which ones, choosing your crystals, making a smudge bowl, how to deeply relax, how to clear a space, contacting your spirit animal. This is just a great book. I think I got this on Amazon. I don't know, many, many years ago, 10 years ago or so. Anyway, I've used it a lot, and I highly recommend it. Now, while I talk, I'm going to finish these. Tammy on her channel, the prompt this week for Self-Care Sunday is music, basically, and it's, I don't like that. It's to get out some music that, you know, maybe you haven't listened to in a long time, or maybe it's something that you really love. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm not sure if this is going to be thick enough, but I like the bigger corners. And while you're crafting or while you're creating, and just let those thoughts flow. And when she pulled a card, because she usually pulls maybe an affirmation card or an oracle card or something at the beginning of self-care, and it encouraged her not to fear the fear. Well, as I've said before, I am a licensed clinical social worker, so I do therapy. And that is actually one of the things that we teach in therapy. And it made me think of this book. Eckhart Tolle, he's so deep. Let me turn my phone off. He is so deep. But I love everything he writes. If you are looking for something to spark you, gosh, go get this book. So this one, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. In it, he describes pain body. So what he's talking about, basically, let me see if I can straighten you a little bit, is that everybody has pain bodies, and some are really heavy and some aren't as heavy. And when we have different negative experiences, then we carry these pain bodies with us. And that's basically the filter that we see the world. And his theory, and I'm really shortening this, his theory is if you recognize those pain bodies and you're able to understand why you have the reflex response that you do, emotionally, psychologically, behaviorally even, if you realize that that's the filter you're looking through, then of course you have the key to change that, because you, like Dr. Phil says, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. But if you don't know why you behave or feel the way you do, then you can't change it. So this book, he talks about these pain bodies. One of the most profound 2 pages in the whole book for me was this, and I have read this to patients to help them understand that sometimes fearing the fear is actually what's causing the suffering. So I wanted to read it because it's powerful, okay? All right. A woman in her 30s came to see me. As she greeted me, I could sense the pain behind her polite and superficial smile. She started telling me her story, and within 1 second, her smile changed into a grimace of pain. Then she began to sob uncontrollably. She said that she felt lonely and unfulfilled. There was much anger and sadness. As a child, she'd been abused by a physically violent father. I saw how quickly her pain was not caused by her present life circumstances, but by an extraordinarily heavy pain body. Her pain body had become the filter through which she viewed her life situation. She was not yet able to see the link between the emotional pain and her thoughts, being completely identified with both. She could not yet see that she was feeding the pain body with her thoughts. In other words, she lived with the burden of a deeply unhappy self. At some level, however, she must have realized that her pain originated within herself, that she was the burden to herself. She was ready to awaken, and this is why she had come. I directed the focus of her attention to what she was feeling inside her body and asked her to sense the emotion directly, instead of through the filter of her unhappy thoughts, her unhappy story. She said she'd expected me to show her the way out of her unhappiness, not into it. Reluctantly, however, she did what I asked her to do. Tears rolling down her face, her whole body was shaking. At this moment, this is what you feel, I said. There is nothing you can do about the fact that at this moment, this is what you feel. Now, instead of wanting this moment to be different from the way it is, which adds more pain to the pain that is already there, is it possible for you to completely accept that this is what you feel right now? She was quiet for a moment. Suddenly she looked impatient, as if she was about to get up, and said angrily, "No, I don't want to accept this." "Who's speaking?" I asked her. "You or the unhappiness in you? Can you see that unhappiness about being unhappy is just another layer of unhappiness?" She became quiet again. "I'm not asking you to do anything. All I'm asking is that you find out whether it's possible for you to allow those feelings to be there. In other words, and this may sound strange, if you don't mind being unhappy, what happens to the unhappiness? Don't you want to find out?" Those 2 pages, I think, have profoundly changed the lives of some people I know. Because if you recognize trauma, you recognize loneliness, you recognize all those negative, harmful feelings that haven't passed. They haven't come, spent time, and left. They stay there. And you continue to spend time with them and worry about them and wonder when they're going to go away and give them your energy, then you are nurturing that. You can recognize that something has happened while also recognize that the past cannot hurt you. You can remember a bad thing, even feel those feelings, but the past cannot hurt you. So when you cry about a sad event or missing someone or something like that, just allow it. It won't last forever. But maybe it needs that moment, and that's it. But when we pile on the fret of worrying about why I'm crying and oh, I'm crying and all of that, that is adding pain on to pain. So we are actually creating unhappiness. And I absolutely, thoroughly believe that. So I just wanted to share that if you're looking for a really intense book, Honestly, I packed that book around with me, oh gosh, 3 summers, I think. And every time I would go to read it, I'd just be, oh my gosh, I got to read that again. That didn't make any sense. Okay, I'm going to go back again. Okay, the room's not quiet enough. And oh, he's intense. I mean, he's really intense. But it's a deep book, so I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, it's a great book. It's an older book, so maybe you guys have already read it even. But I thought that was cool. And, oh, excuse me. Tammy, I already did my music. Yesterday, I made meatballs for us, and Doug was downstairs, so I had the upstairs to myself. So I had Google open music, and then I listened to Jennifer Holliday. I don't know why I've been listening to her lately, but I just blasted it as loud as I dared without blowing up my speaker. And the dogs kept looking at me. In fact, Gus wanted to go outside. He's like, "That's too loud, Mom." Yeah, and I just listened to her for, I don't know. While I made meatballs. Half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. Yeah, I think music is just such a powerful tool to the vibration. If you sing with music, taking those deep breaths and holding those notes for a long time, you know, it's very cleansing. That one's cool. So, I did my homework already. These are already done. I decided, since I was on a roll, why is this not right? Because it's smaller, I guess? Anyway, so I decided while I was on a roll that I would just do a bunch of these. They do take a little bit of time, but I got quite a few done, so I feel good about that. Okay, guys, that is Self-Care Sunday. I have brought up some cheese and crackers, and I'm going to work in the dark book. I think I'm going to make a document holder, maybe, or something. I appreciate you guys watching. I'd love it if you'd hit that thumbs up. I'm so close to 1,000. Turn my channel on and just leave it run in the bedroom while you're not doing anything. I need the hours. I don't know if that's legal or not. Is that legal? I don't know. But I'm almost there. I mean, I don't know what that means exactly. It's just a goal. It's just a silly goal to get to 1,000 subscribers. So we'll see. I want to do a giveaway. I know that. So that'll be fun. And this is your reminder again that if you haven't sent me a memory card, a memory Dex card, a 4x4 card with your info on the back, your birthday month on the back, I'm going to put it all in my Rolodex, and then once a month I will pull a birthday card and send a little giveaway. I just can't wait to do that. I got to sew these, and I don't want to do it on camera, so I'm going to close this video. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love it when you comment and all the thumbs up and stuff. It just makes everything fun. YouTube has been such a great adventure. It's wonderful. I'm really having a ball with it. Let's all take care of each other. Bye.